To make this half flay wrap skirt, you need just two measurements. Now the first measurement you need is your waist measurement, and then you need the length. Now with these two measurements, your waist measurement and the length, you can be able to create a wrap skirt like this. And here is a video of how I did mine. Now the first measurement, the length. To get the length of your skirt, you have to place the top of your tape on your waist point like this, and then take it down to the point where you want your skirt to sit. Now you can make your skirt short, you can make it midi, you can make it long. As for me, I made my 34 inches long, and that is the length I'm going to be using. Secondly, you need your waist measurement. Now this is how you need to calculate your waist measurement. Okay, you take the top of your tape, you place it at the point where you feel like this is the demarcation between your front waistline and your back waistline, which is called your side seam. Okay, so you place your tape on your side seam. Okay, that particular point where you have the demarcation between your front waistline and your back waistline is called your side seam. You place your tape there, and then you take the other end and wrap it round your waist, just like I am doing. And this is how you take your round waist measurement. Now because this is a wrap skirt, we need this to wrap in front twice, so I'm going to continue wrapping this tape around my waist again. Okay, so I'm just going to continue, and I'll take it to this other side. So continuation, or lap it to this other side, and I'll stop at the point where I feel like I have the demarcation between my front waistline and my back waistline, and that's the measurement I'll be using for my wrap. So you take note that I wrapped my tape on my front waistline twice, and I got 48 inches. Okay, so while we get along on the video, I'm going to be adding 2 to 3 inches to this measurement. Now to ensure that this method really works, okay, I created two wrap skirts. One is the practical, which is this one you're watching here, and the second one is made to perfection. So because my aim on this channel is to perfect everything I am doing, just like when I created a kimono video, I created a backless video, I created a bodycon pattern, a skirt pattern, I have my basic bodies. All these videos has been uploaded on this channel. All the videos that I have created recently were all tested process that I trust. If you're interested in any of these videos you're looking at right here, they are all available on this channel, so just go ahead and click on the description box to watch and learn. So for the fabric I used for my wrap skirt, I used a fabric called cotton. You can use crepe, you can use any fabric that of your choice. Just make sure it is really light. And how many yards I use is 3 yards. You guys, please, 3 yards for all size. Or if you're bigger, you can buy 4. Now the first thing I'm going to do is fold my fabric. So the width of my fabric is 3 yards, and I'm going to be folding everything here into 2. Okay, so this is my 3 yards of crepe, and I'm going to fold this cotton fabric into 2 equal parts by width, okay, by the 3 yards. So that's the first step, fold into 2. And to do this, I am just going to lay this on the floor like this. So now fold into 2 like this. It has to be 2 equal parts. That's my first step, fold fabric into 2. So this is into 2, and here 1, 2. So I fold my fabric into 2. Make sure you have folded your own fabric into 2 by width, okay, like your 3 yards of crepe fabric, fold it into 2. And once you are done doing that, the next step is for us to fold again into 2, but this time around we're going to be folding in a triangular shape, okay, creating an A shape for whenever we're trying, you know how we fold when we're trying to make flay, or that's half flay, or A-line. That is what we're going to be folding right now. We're going to be folding this into a cone, or into a triangular form or A shape. I don't know, whichever it is that suits you. That is what we're going to be doing next. So watch what I'm going to be doing. Now, I'm going to pick a side from this closed edge. Okay, so where I have the closed edge here is where I'm picking, and I'm going to fold like this, holding on to this point. I'm going to fold like this. Watch again. Let's fold this again. After you're done folding into two, the next fold is for us to make an A shape. And to do that A shape, for us to be able to get that A shape, what we're going to be doing is holding on to one of this closed edge. You can pick this side or you can pick this other side, but let's work with this side because it's closer to the camera. So I'm going to hold on to this part like this, making sure all the both fabrics here are equal. And I'm going to hold on to this side and fold into an A shape like this. Okay, so this is what we want to have when we are done folding. Next thing I will do is take my waist measurement, which is I'll place the tape around my waist like this. Remember we did this at the beginning of this video. So where I place the tape around my waist, after I've gotten my round waist, I lapped the tape on my waist again, my front waistline alone twice, because this is a wrap skirt and I got 48 inches, right? Remember this measurement? Now I'm going to be adding 2 inches to that to make it 50 and also another 2 inches for hemming. Okay, so I decided to add extra 4 inches in total, and that made it 52 inches. And the next thing we're going to do is find the radius of the half fillet. Now to get the radius, you have to say 52 divided by 3.14. And you guys, 3.14 is the constant, okay? So I did mine and I got 16.5 inches. Now, in case some of you are wondering what is the radius, this is the distance from the center point to any end point on a circle, okay? So from your center point after folding your A-line fillet to the point where you're going to be marking your circumference, that's the length. That is what is called your radius. So I'm going to be saying 2 plus 50, that is 52. So 52 is what I'm working with, and I've gone ahead to fold my fabric into 4. So before I can be able to mark any measurement, I have to divide that 52 by 3.14. Okay, so let's do this together. Get your own measurements and let's divide this by 3.14. So mine is 52. I'm going to say 52 divided by 3.14. I'm getting 16.6, which is approximately 17 inches. Okay, so I'm going to be working with 16 inches though. So what the radius is going to help us do is we're going to be able to get where to mark our waist measurement, okay? Well, that 50 we're working with, where to mark it. So I'm going to, since I got 16, what I'm going to be doing with that 16.5, I'm going to be using 16.5 from this edge here. I'll place my tape, and so the tape does not move, I'm just going to quickly pin it down. I'm going to pin the tape to the edge so it does not move. Okay, you should do the same. And I'm going to be marking 16 inches like this from the tape, okay? You see it is here, it's not moving, so I'm just going to go around like this, marking 16. So 16.5, sorry. So this is 16.5. 16.5. Just round it like this. 16.5. 16.5. Okay. So I'm just going to make the line very visible so you all can see. So from the edge here to this point, I have successfully marked 16.5, and I'm going to take off the pin and calculate what I have from here to here. like this. On that line I've marked that 16. I'm calculating what I have there. And I have 12. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, since the line here I have 12, I'm going to say 12 times 4, because we have 4 fabric here folded into this fabric here is folded into 4. So since we have 4 fabric here, I'm going to be saying 12 times 4, and I'll make sure I get 50 or 50 and above. So 12 times 4, I'm getting 48. So it means that I'm close. So what I will do is, from this line here, I'm just going to come down by ½ inch, and that is where I'm going to be cutting, because if I come down by ½ inch and I cut, if I calculate it, I'm going to be getting probably 12.5 or 13, and if I say 13 times 4, I'm going to be getting 50 or more. Okay, so this is how you get your half flace. So I'm just going to mark ½ inch down. Why I am marking ½ inch down is the fact that I got 48, and what I'm looking for is 50 and above for my wrap. Okay. Okay. So on my second line, I'm going to place my tape again and find out if I get something that I can. So this is 13. So I'll say 13 times 4 to make sure I get what I'm looking for. Okay, so 13 times 4, 52. So we are good. Okay, so this is the line I'm going to be cutting, the second line. Now the next thing I'm going to do is mark my length from here. Okay, from this second line here, which is my waist. This is where my waist will be sitting. I'm going to go down and mark the length that I'll be using for my skirt, and the length I'll be using for my skirt is 34. So I'll mark 34 round. I hope you guys can see from that point. So you see, as I move my tape on top, here, I'm moving my tape down here. Okay, so that is how you mark your length. So you get a full curve, you get a complete curve. Now you can cut. We're going to cut out this point first, and then come cut out the length. So this is my wrap skirt. Let me know if you have any issues on how we got here, and let's go ahead and cut out the band. Now we are going to be cutting the band that we're going to be attaching to my wrap skirt. So before I do that, I have to know what I have on my waist, right? What I'm going to be wrapping on my waist. So I need to know how wide this is. So I'm going to place my tape on that waist point, and I'll just calculate. This is going to help me cut out the band. Okay, so this part is actually necessary, because whatever you get from here is going to determine how long your band will be. Okay. So once I was done calculating, I got 65 inches. So 65 inches is what I got. And this is the fabric that I'm going to be using for my band. The length of this fabric is 5 inches, because we're going to be folding into 2 and also folding the edges later. but then I have 5 inches of length. And the width of my band is 113. Now, why is it 113? Because the width of your band needs to be like twice of whatever you have on your waist measurement. Okay, remember my waist measurement, I got 65 inches, and now I am using 113 inches as the width of my band, because after I am done joining the band, I need extra band to be on each side of my wrap, so I can wrap this around my waist again, and everything is just going to sit well. Okay, and you should have more than what you have on the circumference of your fillet, okay, after cutting. So 79 plus 34 gives you 113 inches, and that is how wide my band is. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fold my band into 2 equal parts and iron this down. So because we have 5 inches length of band, if I fold it into 2 equal parts like this, I'm going to be having 2.5 inch worth of band. Okay, and we're going to be sewing 1/2 inch on all sides of the band. Okay, and you guys are going to see what I mean. I'm just going to iron this down to it lays really flat before I take it to my sewing machine to sew. And you guys, you can notice that where I am ironing down is the wrong side of my fabric. Okay, because we're going to be sewing the band on the wrong side of the fabric. And now we're just going to sew this by 1/2 inch. We'll sew this side by 1/2 inch. We'll continue, and we're not going to sew some parts. I'll show you how to know where to stop. To do that, fold your band into 2 equal parts, just the way I'm doing. I'm folding my band, my 113 width of band, I'm folding this into 2 equal parts. Okay, so I have 2 sides here, and I'm just going to fold until I have 2 equal parts on all sides of the band. This is going to enable us know where to join to the skirt and where is going to be an extra band for tying, okay, around the waist. So now that I have used my iron to iron out the middle points, I'm going to bring my skirt. Okay, this is my wrap skirt without a band yet. I'm going to bring it and I'll fold it also into 2 equal parts. Okay, and where am I folding? The waist, where is going to sit on my waist. So I'll fold this into 2 equal parts. Remember, it is 65 inches long. So when I fold it into 2 equal parts, I'm going to place it on the band like I'm joining it. So I'm just going to keep doing this until I get to the end of the wrap skirt. Okay, so I can use my chalk and indicate on the band where I need to stop sewing. So remember, the band is folded into 2 equal parts, the skirt into 2 equal parts, and I'll just use my chalk now to indicate where I need to stop sewing when I start sewing. So this is the point. So when I start sewing, I'm going to stop there. Okay, I'm indicating on this other side too because they are separate. So what we need to do is take this band to the sewing machine. We're going to sew in all these parts. Sew in here, sew the down, and stop at this point. Okay, we're going to do this together at the sewing machine. So let's go. Now, before I start joining the band or sewing the band, on the sides of my wrap, I'm going to be folding this into 2. That's I'm trying to hem the sides. Okay, so I'm folding into 2 by 0.5 inch, and I'm just going to sew. So what I mean, or what I'm doing, is the sides on your wrap, it does not need to be raw. Okay, you don't need the raw edges. The sides needs to be hemmed, and that's what I'm doing. So if you don't want to fold twice and hem, you can use your weaving machine, weave the edges, and then just fold once and hem. So once I'm done, I'll show you guys what it looks like on the right side of the fabric. Remember, I'm sewing on the wrong side, so this is the right side of the fabric. You can see how it looks, and this is happening, or this has happened on the sides of the wrap. Now let's work on the band. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to be sewing the edges of the band, and I'm just sewing this by 1/2 inch. I'll continue like this. I'll sew in by 1/2 inch, and I'll keep sewing till I get to that point where I use my chalk to indicate, okay, this point here, that's where I'll be stopping, because the rest I'll be using to attach to the skirts, okay, the wrap skirts. And you're going to see how easy it is to do. Oh girl, creating this project was very easy, and it was a beautiful process that I was very proud of. So now that I've gotten to the point where I indicated with my chalk, I'll just cut out my thread and I'll flip this to the right side. So remember, we have opening at the middle point of this band, and not just the middle point, at the point where the skirt is going to be sitting. So see how I'm going to flip this to the right side. Okay, so I'm using my scissors for this, and I've gotten to that point. I'll just drag this out. You can see that we have some opening here, or have a long opening. So now when I go to my ironing table, I'm just going to fold in the rest by 1/2 inch. So I'm flipping this side too because I sewed this in off the camera. So I'm just going to flip it. Remember, there are two sides in the band. Okay, there are two sides on the band. So now when I go to my ironing table, I'm just going to iron in this part by 1/2 inch. And you guys are going to see how easy it is. So now before I start folding, I have to just make sure that every other part of the band lays really flat. And that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm using my hot iron to iron out where I have sewn. And when I get to the opening, I'm just going to start folding both edges by 1/2 inch because that is what I sewed the band by. Okay, so yeah, please, this part is very, very important and necessary, so pay attention. Okay, so now that I've gotten to the opening, I'm just going to start folding this by 1/2 inch. I'll fold it down, I'll fold it up, and then I'll fold the both to be equal. Okay, so I'm folding here by 1/2 inch, and it is easier for you to do it like this before you start attaching your skirts. Okay, so I'm folding the top now by 1/2 inch, and I'll just iron this down to be equal. Okay, make sure that everything is equal, very important. So fold the top, fold the base by 1/2 inch, and iron this down with your hot iron. And please do not rush. Okay, take your time, it's a beginner's project. So I'll continue doing this till I get to the other side where I indicated my chalk on the other side. Let's say the left side. Let's assume I'm doing the right side right now. So I'll just do this till I get to the left side of the band. I'll just keep ironing this down and folding in by 1/2 inch. So once I was done, this is what it looks like. Everything is laying really flat because I had to iron. Okay, so you see how important the process is, or this particular step, how important it is. So see, everywhere laying really flat with 1/2 inch folded on each side. So what I'll do now is I'm going to bring my skirts and I'll place this in between the opening I have on my band. Okay, and just watch. Very simple, girl, you can never get this wrong. Watch what I'm doing right now. I'll open this like this where I have my folding. I'll place my skirt in between the fabric, and now I can go sew on it. Okay, I'm going to be top stitching on it. So let's do this together. So you can see how I am carefully placing my skirts in between the band fabric, and I'm going to sew on this, and I'm just going to be sewing by probably 1/4 inch or very, very close to the edge of the band. Okay, so take your time, do not rush this particular process because all the process in fact are really necessary and important for you to take your time when you're doing it. Okay, so please take your time so your skirt comes out really clean and neatly done. Okay, so I'm just going to carefully continue doing this, placing my skirt in between the fabric. Now make sure that you did the process where you indicated all the points where your skirt is going to be fitting in. Sure that you did what I did, exactly how I did it, the steps. I created a space already for this skirt, and that is why I'm able to place it in between the band fabric and sew. Okay, so once I was done doing this, the next thing for me to do is finish up my skirt by hemming the base. And you guys, that was how easy it was for me to create a wrap skirt. Now the next video coming is going to be a wrap skirt, but the one done in perfection. Okay, this is the practical where I find out the very easy step to create a wrap skirt. I wanted to find out the easier way for me to do this that you can understand and I also can understand, and I did this. I love the whole process. I love how simple it was, and I created another one done to perfection, and you guys are going to be seeing that video next or soon. But now that I have weaved my edge, that's the length. I'm just going to fold this by 1/2 inch once and sew. And that is practically it for this video. Okay, I hope you were able to learn 1 or 2 things from this video. Let me know if you were, and please you can comment the country that you're watching from. Let me know that someone from somewhere is watching, not just people from Nigeria. Okay, let me know where you're watching my video from. Are you watching from South Africa, Malaysia? Are you watching from Australia? Are you watching from Kenya, Ghana? Are you watching from Uganda, Botswana? Please let me know where you're watching from on the comment section, and let me know if you really understand the process of making this wrap skirt. I love you guys so much, and thank you once more. I'll be seeing you on my next video. Love and light to you. It's been long I said that to you guys. Love and light to you wherever you are. Mwah. Bye for now.